Welcome to the Band Stripped on a Sunday night with me, the Eskimo Writer, right here on Hot 91.9's SA Music Box. My guest tonight is Simba CI, and he's going to play us 3 songs which he has chosen for us from his brand new album, and he's going to tell us the story behind those songs. So check it out and share the featurette. Simba, welcome to SA Music Box.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
Excellent. I see you got a cool vibe going there with the sunglasses.
All the way.
Listen, I can completely relate. Whenever I perform, I'm generally in sunglasses.
Yeah, I feel you.
Even at night, man.
I totally get you.
Yeah, it's all about my cool, to try and get that vibe going.
It helps a lot.
Welcome to our show. Now, if you haven't heard it before, what we do is we'll tell the audience about your songs and we're going to try and find out a little more about you.
Proper.
Now, the first thing, when I came across your music, my first question to you is, how do you classify your style of music?
The fact that I don't consider myself a boxed musician on a particular genre, mainly even when I do my tours, I always emphasize to people that first and foremost, I'm an African musician. If I'm to put myself in a box,
Yeah, it'll be a big box.
Yes, it'll be a very huge box. I'm an African musician who's influenced by any type of music that just hits my soul and spirit, but mainly Motown, because I grew up listening to a lot of Motown music, reggae and all that stuff. So I decided then to categorize it as Afro Street Motown.
Afro Street
Motown.
Right.
Yeah.
Afro Street Motown. And it's Simba CI with that particular style of music. And I had to ask him because obviously when I heard your music, I could pick up all these different influences.
Yeah.
Tell me some of the artists who have influenced you.
When you hear my vocal range, people always think of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Of course,
It's very distinctive, by the way.
The King of Pop had a big influence from my childhood, of course. We all grew up listening to him. And of course, when we come back to Africa, the likes of Salif Keita, the late Oliver Mtukudzi, the Yuma Sigelas, the Yvonne Chaga Chagas, who I've actually shared stages with, and so many more. And it's those people that have groomed me to be able to pick up an identity in my own way.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I found you through Julian van Plato,
great
who
man.
was doing balcony TV, etc. And he says, Savan, you got to see this guy. He's, and I then inquired about your music, and I was amazed that I had not seen you before. But tell me, what do you love most about live performance?
It's funny when I tell this to young and upcoming artists as well, that above everything else, live performances should not only be about the audience. It should be about grooming yourself on stage.
Yeah.
When I'm on stage, above everything else, I forget about the people.
Yeah.
When I feel the vibes within me and I enjoy the music, I know that energy will be translated upon them, and definitely everybody else will enjoy what I'm doing. So the mistake that most young musicians make is they try to please the audience before themselves, because music should be within you. People should be able to tell the story by watching you do what you do and pick up those vibes, and that energy just changes their lives. So that's what I enjoy the most, when I have fun on stage.
Right.
Yeah.
And so whether it's one person or 3 people that you're speaking to or 100 people, the way you approach your gig will be exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Totally. Wait.
That's very good advice. I do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, proper.
It's about enjoying it,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Because if it was, if your enjoyment factor was 100% relative to the audience, you might not enjoy something.
Yeah, true. That is so true.
And also to keep elevating yourself and to get into your performance.
Most definitely.
That's a great
That's
technique.
how you then pick up who you are in this music world.
Yeah.
Because then you totally know yourself when you're on stage and off stage. And besides performing, I love to listening to others as well, because then I pick up certain things that I always think I'm doing, and then improve on my works.
Right.
Yeah.
So your first track of this album, your first single, is a track called Changing Chords.
Yes.
Tell us about the song.
Initially, the song came up when I was in high school, a very long time ago. Very, very long time ago. When I was in high school, I used to, this music thing has been a big part of me But when you're trying to, when you are a high schooler, you try to show off to the girls, show them your skill.
You definitely want to impress people with the scale of your ability.
So it came a point. There were some people who used to, how kids can be mean sometimes at school. So when I was trying to show off my skill, because that was something that I was really good at, and one of these young guys who was interested in the same girl that I was interested in, comes and disses me at some point, ghetto child, what's on, you come from the hood, what's on, trying to make me feel inferior in some way.
Okay.
And then, so I started rhyming. It was ghetto when you met me, ghetto when you left me, ghetto when you came back to me, nothing can change. So with that little rhyme that I did, I went on the piano because I'm self-taught in playing all these instruments. And then as I was playing, the song initially was called Ghetto Song, because it was speaking about a ghetto child coming from the hood with only music as the tool that they had to communicate with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And from then on, it developed. And then 2 years ago, I'm in the studio working out on the songs that I'll put on the album. And my producer was like, I love the refrain. It was ghetto when you met me. And I was like, what are you going to call the song? Are you still going to call it Ghetto Song? I was like, no, I'm going to call it Changing Chords, because it has evolved from when I literally wrote the song to now when we finalized the song, because these chords have evolved and changed me and my perspective to life and how I see music now. That's why it's called Changing Chords.
Wonderful. So you've heard it from Simba CI. That's his first song that he's going to play for us, Changing Chords, which is about a tug of war in the story of love.
Yeah, man.
This is Simba CI.
Prop. This life that I'm living is no easy task. You sleep in a trench town with no food to eat. Mama told me someday, my beautiful boy, you shall change the world one chord at a time. I see the changes as music keeps playing. I move your soul. I see the changes as the strum on my guitar warms a better place. I see the changes as music keeps playing. I move your soul. I see the changes as the strum on my guitar. Oh, it's a ghetto song now. Won't you sing it with me now? It's a ghetto song now. Won't you sing it with me now? Hey. It was ghetto when you met me, or when you left me. Ghetto when you came back to me. Music can change it. Music can change it. It was ghetto when you met me, or when you left me. Ghetto when you came back to me. Music can change it. Music can change it. It's a ghetto song, ghetto song. No. Won't you sing it with me now? It's a ghetto song now. Won't you sing it with me now? It's a ghetto song now. Won't you sing it with me now? It's a ghetto song, ghetto song, ghetto song. Won't you sing it with me now? I see the changes, it's a ghetto song, a ghetto song. I see the changes, it's a ghetto song, a
Excellent. Simba, that was unbelievable, actually.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let me tell you the thing that stood out for me during that performance. When you came into the studio, you sounded a bit scratchy when you were talking outside.
Yeah.
But the note that you reached in that song is incredibly high.
Thank you, man.
And you're able to sustain that. I find that's an incredible talent to have.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So there's a lot of your music in keys that are quite
yeah, quite. That has just become my signature.
You don't have this low tenor vibe like I do.
Well, I do, but I rarely use it because over the years, it's known that I will always bring that unique high voice and what's
so it's part of your signature.
It has become part of my brand.
Now, interesting subject matter in your songs.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy writing about the most?
Well, love.
Yeah.
Love is the biggest thing
in
my life. Yeah.
It's always a nice thing to write about.
It is. I love love. That is the thing. I think the best thing that has ever happened to me is becoming a parent. And, the
different type of love too.
Yes, that the expression from like with my music has been influenced mainly by my family, how I feel about them, and what keeps me going. So, love is my main subject. Be it the struggles in love, be it the beauty of love, be it just everything that we face that surrounds love.
Yeah. Well, I suppose. Listen, it's always a great subject matter because it's fueled with passion.
So much to touch in.
And everyone out there can relate to it in some way or the other.
Yeah,
definitely. So, what is the next song you're going to play for us? I believe it's called Ngano Zorudo.
Ngano Zorudo, yeah.
I said it right, eh?
Yes.
Amazing.
That means the fairy tales of love.
The fairy tales of love. Well, it's well within context. Tell us, what is the song about exactly?
It's about the Romeo and Juliet story,
like a tragedy.
Yes, and it's whereby the guy is talking about the pain that I felt. I've kept it for so long that the only person that has managed to be the cure to this misery that I've been is the person that I've given my heart to. So it's also a metaphor, like here in SA or in Africa. I know Southern Africa mainly. When something happens or something beautiful, or when a beautiful woman passes by, you go like yo. So that's why the chorus is like yo. It's whereby I'm like yo. You gave me that yo feeling that now I care about nothing else besides what we have. So
for our audience, I'd just like to let them know when a beautiful girl passes, I remain neutral.
Yeah, man. Proper.
All right. Well, this is Simba CI with Ngano Zorudo.
Yeah. Misodzi yoyerera ndichida iwe ndafunga rudora ndiwe mudiwawa ndafambe nenyika ndichiedza kukukanganwe iwe zvarame inzopa yapandochema hayo hiyo hayo hiyo we hayo hiyo 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 hayo we hayo hiyo we hayo hiyo 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 vandi utaini tiwa uri kureku Diwa noko chaka shikanakuwa ndiwe wandoda Doimbanzio Doimbio iwe Dino wanarufa moyo mang Pauno ndi udzunari kaniwe inswa Diwe Uri Ngoma ye moyo wangu moyo wangu narinzwe ndiwe
Wow, that was Simba's second song.
Yeah,
And
man.
to the listeners out there, I just want to let you know, the last time I hit that note, I was probably 7.5 and in an awkward situation.
Yeah, man, I can imagine.
Wow, it's really unbelievable to.
Thank you.
How do you get that high?
I think I'll give thanks to my mom as much as
Yeah.
I dedicated this whole album to her, because I don't come from a very well up background.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is a blessing when a parent can identify their child from a very young age.
Yeah.
That this one is a gift. So my mom is Catholic, and she's always loved music, and she was always in the choir all her life.
Right.
And so when I was born, she says that she could already pick up the vibrations that this one is going to be a problem. And then when I was like 3 or 4, she used to come back at home.
When she said problem, she meant musician.
Yeah, musician.
This one's going to be a
probably.
musician.
So when I was 3 or 4, and it's funny because when I tell people that I started singing from that age, they
Yeah.
hardly believe me. But it is true. Like from when I was 3 or 4, I was already imitating cartoons on,
Yeah.
on TV.
That's- I believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my mom would come back with a hymn book from church
Yeah.
and teach me what she knew as music because it was natural for her. So I used to imitate her voice. So that's all I grew up knowing.
Oh,
to
that's
sing
interesting.
very high.
So those higher notes,
Yeah,
those
were from her. So though now I sing a bit better than she does, but then so I got my musical ear and training from my mother, and as I grew up, started joining the choir, then started identifying the different type of vocals. But I always stuck to falsetto and soprano, and those were the master voices that I used. So even at high school choir, with
you're standing in the front.
the funniest thing, I know you might know of a young man who's making it big in the industry called Big as Ella with the song Big as Ella.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We grew up together. We're in soprano together at high school.
Wow.
We literally stood together with the girls, just the 2 boys singing soprano. And well, now he sings the other voice. I'm still stuck on soprano.
Fantastic. Would it be true to say that your mother was one of your biggest influences?
She is. She still is.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing, I came back from Europe around August last year, and then in October we did the official hard copy launch of the album, and that was the first time in the 30-something years of my life she actually sees me perform live with the band.
That must have been amazing.
Night.
Yeah.
It was really
Was it more emotional for her or for you?
Both of us.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop crying. It was really amazing.
Now that happens. I mean, these these stories where you come up from adverse backgrounds and your parents see some magic in you, and then you eventually fulfill that promise.
Yeah.
I can imagine it can be incredibly rewarding for
Totally.
parents. Now, I noticed that you're quite a technical player.
Yeah.
Just from sitting across from you
Yeah,
here.
thank you.
Your chord structures are really interesting, and some of the chords that you actually have in your songs are really interesting.
Thank you.
So what are your favorite chords to play?
Well, because I'm a very emotional person, they
Yeah.
call me very sensitive. I love minor chords because they bring out
That sort of melancholy.
Yes,
Yeah.
So because of that, I you'd never find any of my songs
I had
without.
a funny story on that. A lot of my early songs had a lot of minor chords in them,
Yeah.
and I used to play them for my friends.
Yeah.
And as usual with your friends, they have no filter. You'd always be the subject of ridicule when it came to this.
True.
They would always ask me, "Why don't you write happy songs? All your songs are so sad."
I get that a lot
Yeah.
too. But the funniest thing, they love my sad songs. They love all that. It's just that the thing is, like I said, I'm not boxed, but there's a certain feel that I love that comes with my music.
Yeah.
That people can always say that's a Simba CI.
Well, it's always about, I always tell singer-songwriters, it's about trying to find the true nature of your inner voice.
Definitely.
And I think that's something that you obviously, that's a point you're reaching or have reached in your career.
Yeah.
And what are some of the chord patterns you enjoy playing also?
Well, I love to add a few diminished chords, 9th and 6th on my play platforms. Even when I'm playing a major G and I'll find it diminishing it or putting a 6th, falling into a bit of jazz chords, but not too often. But I'm versatile like that.
For the audience out there, as you just heard it here on SA Music Box, music is mathematics.
It is. It is.
It is completely mathematics.
Totally
right?
not simple too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so your next song, Tererai.
Tererai.
What's the story? Tererai.
Yes.
What is the story behind Tererai?
Actually, that's my mom's favorite because that is one of the first songs that I actually speak about the problems we have with HIV and
Right.
in our societies
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So this
A
song,
Southern African pandemic.
yes,
actually, yeah.
yes.
Mm.
This song initially was co-written by a good friend of mine, Onias Kaunda.
Yeah.
He's now based in the United States.
Okay.
Brilliant musician. Then, in dedication of our friendship, I decided to include it on the album because it's a song that we wrote years ago when we were still teenagers.
Right.
And so it speaks about having to listen. Tererai means listen.
Yeah.
Listen to the words of wisdom regardless of who is telling it. It could be a child, it could be a young person, an adult. It says HIV does not choose whether you are rich, poor, or you are black, white,
Yeah, it doesn't
green,
discriminate.
yellow. It doesn't discriminate at all. Just listen to how important life is in preserving life and how nobody wants to die, So I will always speak about it until my people hear the message. That's the song.
Wonderful. Well, it's a strong message, and we're very happy to share it with our listeners and our audience. This is Simba CI with Tererai.
Yeah,
Mainana baba tererai mashako eruzivo mungawana penyu wakareba tererai Vakamane handradi mainana baba tererai Tererai mashako eruzivo mungawana upenyu wakareba tererai ndijaramba ndijitaura svikira ndaona upenyu netariro tererai ndicharamba ndichitaura svikira ndaona upenyu netariro teerera chirwere cheshura matongo chisarudze pachinofamba chinobata munhu wese achinene kupusa achinene kungwara achinene urombo chero kupfuma teerera chirwere cheshura matongo chisarudze pachinofamba chinobata munhu wese achinene kufuma achinene kungwara achinene urombo chero kupusa teererai ndicharamba ndichitaura svikira ndaona upenyu netariro teererai
Mr. Simba CI,
Yeah, man.
that is a truly beautiful song
Thank you.
with an incredible melody.
Thank you very much.
And it goes it probably speaks a lot about the story of the song.
Yep.
And it's tinged with melancholy.
Yeah, man.
Fantastic. So tell me, I mean, listen, thank you for being on Band Stripped with me.
My pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for treating our audience to your performance.
Yeah, definitely.
Where can people find you?
Well, I'm available directly on my website, which is Simba CI Worldwide.
Yep.
.co.za.
And on social media?
Social media will be Facebook, it's Simba CI Music. Actually, on all platforms, it's Simba CI
At
Music.
Simba CI
Instagram,
Music.
yeah, it's Simba CI Music.
There you go. You heard it right there from Simba CI. You can find him on social media, or you can go into his website, Simba CI Worldwide.
.co.za.
.co.za.
Yeah, man.
And check it out. There's some cool stuff there. You'll also be able to check out where he's playing, and he's quite busy.
Totally.
So I'm sure you'll be able to catch him somewhere in the Johannesburg neighborhood
Yep.
over the next few weeks.
Yeah,
Simba,
man.
thank you, man.
Pleasure.
And go well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. One love.
You're welcome.
Problem.
And that concludes episode 5 of Band Stripped. Our guest tonight was Simba CI, a wonderful Afro soul, Afro acoustic artist. Don't forget, you can check him out on Facebook and on YouTube to catch this featurette.